And then you have a pencil tool. Now the pencil tool is actually not much use to you within the edit view, or the waveform view that we've currently got displayed on the track view. You can use it within this, but it's mainly for getting rid of clicks and glitches at the sample level, so you'd have to zoom in an awfully long way, and it's not always entirely successful in its in whatever it does. So I can show that another time, but again, that's another tool you can have a look at. Just going back to these various tools within, but in different modes or track view displays on the tracks themselves. Once again, we've been in waveform thus far, with waveform view. If I change that to volume, we get a different view. So now we can't move the regions around. They are slightly greyed out. Instead, we get this line which represents the volume at, as it stands at the moment, 0 dB, which is basically unity gain. And and if I click at any one of these points, I can add an edit point, and I can add edit points and move them around so that the volume of whatever I'm looking at there changes. So I think that should be obvious when I play it back. Oops. That should gradually get louder. I should maybe have done it over a shorter period of time. I'll do that again. So I'll zoom in a bit so that it makes it a little bit more obvious. Okay, so now I'll choose the selector tool and I'll place it here, which means that now you can hear it. So that's fairly intuitive. It's not difficult to grasp. So once again, with the grabber tool, you can place edit points. If you want to remove edit points, you press Alt. Again, Alt is your friend in all sorts of situations. Click on a point and it will remove it, like that. If you want to remove a series of points, then if you select the selector tool, make a selection that covers all the points you want to remove and press backspace, it will get rid of them all. So I better move this along a bit and then I can get rid of all of them. There you go. So that's how you might handle individual points. If you want to do several points at a time, that is when you might use the pencil tool. So if I click on the pencil tool and just draw in a shape, then I get a multitude of edit points and a much more specific or much more detailed curve, if you like. Incidentally, not to make this too complicated, if you make a selection which encompasses all of the edit points that you might want to move up or down, you can use the trim tool to move things up and down globally. So I can move the whole of that section up and down, and you'll notice that it does so relatively, so the peak is slightly dampened as it gets quieter in this case. So that's that, and once again I can press backspace in order to get rid of those curves there. Get rid of all that. That applies to mute as well, although mute only has two states. It's either muted or not muted. So once again I'll get rid of those. And panning, of course. So you have pan, left, and I can make that the whole of the left channel move from the left to the right hand side. I can make the whole of the right channel move from the right to the left hand side. So again, that's fairly straightforward. So that's the basic tools in that row, and I will start a new video to show you the edit modes which are on the left hand side up here.